Let's start with the OLAP systems. Now, OLAP, as the name goes, stands for analytical processing. Okay. The brief here to understand is when we talk about OLTP or OLAP systems, the database is going to be used in both the cases, whether it is an OLAP or whether it is OLTP. Data will be stored in the database. But when we talk about the OLTP, we are just writing the queries and we are making use of the data to extract to from the database we are extracting with the help of the queries. But when we talk for OLAP systems, what is going to happen is the data will be extracted from the database, but then it is analyzed and presented. That is, you could say that if you, in the simple terms, if you had a database and you are trying to write queries, you are extracting the data from there, and to analyze it, the best and the simple possible way would be to present it in form of a pictorial representation, or say that you are presenting it in terms of a graph. So the moment you look at the graph, you do not have to go through the entire data there. Like, assume you have a pie chart, or you have an XY axis graph where you have a bar chart. So when you look at these things, whatever graph is drawn is again based on the data. So it becomes more easy to understand, and it helps in making decisions there. The main purpose of the OLAP systems is to help to make decisions or to take decisions. So OLAP is a computer processing that enables user to easily and selectively extract and view data from different points of view. So you have to remember that when we talk about OLAP systems, we are talking about data in multidimensional form. So when I say data in multidimensional form, what does it mean? We will understand it as in how we move ahead with this entire unit. So slowly you will try to uncover, you will try to understand each and every point. So multidimensional data is having different perspectives. You are going to view data in different forms from different perspectives. So that is why when we talk about OLAP, we say that it is a multidimensional data. It contains multidimensional data. So OLAP allows the user to analyze database information from multiple database system at one time. And then the most popular examples for the OLAP is the Oracle Express, which is commonly used. Then, to better understand this, we have an example here. You have to understand that we are talking about a supermarket here. The example is about a supermarket, and the name of the supermarket is All Goods. Okay, so this supermarket is basically they have given us one table of, or you say a sample of the database is given, and this database, or this inside the database, it contains a huge amount of data. Among this data, let us first understand what are the fields or what are the columns in a particular table. Only one table we are having for the example here. So assume you have the columns, I'll tell you the column headings. Remember it. You will have a column heading called as section. So since we are talking about a store, and now I'm telling you the field name as section here. So when I say section, what are the possible values that this section will take? It will have men's section, it is going to have a women's section, it will have a kids section, and last one is the infants section. So it has four values for the section column. It can choose any one among men, women, kids, and infants. Next one, we have the column heading as product category name. Okay. So what is this product category name? What values does this product category name take? It has only two values. So it can choose either accessories, or it can choose from clothing. So it has two values. Product category name has two values, accessories or clothing. Then we have the third column heading as year quarter. So this column can have four values. It can take four values: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So this is the year quarter. That is, a year is divided into four quarters. That is in 3 months each. So Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Then we have the last one as sales amount. So now sales amount is going to be based on how the sales has taken place. So there are no values to choose from here. Sales amount is basically the amount that is going to depend on the sales that have taken place in the supermarket. So with this brief idea, let us move ahead and understand why do we say OLEP systems to be multidimensional data. We'll come back to these slides. So have a look here at one dimensional OLAP. The first point we have is one dimensional data. Now the all goods is a supermarket here. Now what we will try to do is, I told you the four column headings. When we talk about one dimensional data, we are talking about that database and we are trying to view it only from one perspective. That is, we are trying to view it only from one section. Okay, so that is why it is called as one dimensional data. So when we talk about OLAP systems, we are talking about the perspectives in which the data can be viewed. So if I say one dimensional data, you could view only it from one particular column. You can view that data in comparison with one particular column. So then what could be the possible values? I told you there are four columns. You have section, you have product category name, and you have year quarter. Now, what we are trying to do here is, how are we trying to view this one dimensional data? We are trying to understand the sales in how this overall sales has taken place. So, if I say that I need to understand the sales amount in by the perspective or in terms of the section. That is, how much sales has increased, or you say the overall graph of that sales, or in general, how has been the sales section, whether it is profitable or is in loss. So, if I want to understand this, I will say, let us go ahead and view it with the help of the sections. The perspective here is section. We are talking about the column section. So now, what are the possible values I told you the section can have? It can have men, it can have women, kids, and infants. So if we talk about the sales amount, so we can have a look at the particular section there, and we can see for a particular section, for the men's section, how much has the sales been. For women's section, how has the sales gone increased or has it been in loss. So same way you can look out at the section perspective out from these four possible categories that are there. Then one dimensional data, another example would be to look at the next column, that is the product category name. So here we have only two values. So we can see how the sales amount has taken place for accessories and for clothing. So which of these, out of these two product categories, which product has the sales increased, whether it is for the category accessories or whether it is for the category clothing. Then one dimensional data can also be viewed in terms of the year quarter. Now what are the possible values for the year quarter? We have Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. That is, we are dividing a year into four quarters, 3 months for each quarter. So the sales amount has increased for which quarter? Whether it is for Q1, whether it is for Q2 or whether Q3 and Q4. So when we talk about the data and we are trying to view it only from one perspective or say from only one particular column, we will say that it is one dimensional data or one dimensional OLAP. Okay. Next, we will move and understand the this is one dimensional data by section. So have a look here. You have these four possible values that the section is having. So the sales amount, you can have a look, is more definitely for the second one, that is for the kids one. So likewise, you can also have this table for different product category name. You can have it for the quarter. So this is for product category name. We have two possible values there, accessories and clothing. So the sales amount has been more for the clothing section here, the clothing category. This is quarterly sales amount. So again here the highest sales has taken place in the third quarter. Then let us move ahead with two-dimensional data. So when we talk about two-dimensional data, we are saying that we will try to view the sales amount. We are going to have a look at the sales amount based on any two combinations, based on any two field names, or based on any two perspectives. So here you could view the data in terms of year, quarter, or the product category name. So the year quarter is having four values, and the product category name is having two possible values, that is accessory and clothing. So have a look here. This is the year quarter, and these two combined will be the product category name. So when we are trying to use two different columns or two different perspectives, that just to view the sales amount, so that is again called as two-dimensional data. Then we have the next one, which is the three-dimensional data. So three-dimensional data, what does this indicate now? It will indicate that we are trying to view data in terms of three columns or in terms of three perspectives. Now, to view the sales amount, which are the three possible sections, or let me say, which are the three possible perspectives that we can view the data from? So we can view it in terms of year, quarter. We can view it in terms of the product category name. The product category name has two values, that is accessories and clothing. And we can view it in terms of sections. So for the section, we have again four values there, which is men, women, kid, and infant. So this is how the data can be viewed from the database in different perspectives, and this is the way it is classified in OLAP systems. Now, what up till three dimension is fine. So the next thing is, can we move ahead and say that we will go ahead beyond the third dimension? Can we go for a fourth dimension or above it? So till where the limitations will be there? So one purpose here, why are we trying to view the data in these different perspectives or in different dimensions, is for analyzing the data, for trying to predict. Just by looking at this one dimensional, two dimensional, or three dimensional data, an analyst will be able to tell you that the sales amount has shooted up for which particular section or which particular perspective. And if that is the case, then they can also move ahead with introduction of new products for that particular perspective. Or they can, if the sales is down, then they can analyze and they can think that this particular product might not be sold properly in a particular quarter. So this will help. Trying to view data in terms of dimensions will help us to analyze the data in a better way, rather than just running the queries and viewing the results. So should we go beyond the third dimension here? The question is definitely yes, but the limitations are on the system, or the limitations are on the technology and the software. So if we are able to handle those limitations, or if we are able to overcome and develop such a technology or a software wherein the data can be viewed again beyond the third dimension, and it is going to help us to have a better analysis of the data. So we should definitely go beyond the third dimension. So with these basic understanding for OLTP and OLAP, the OLAP still has a different categories. We will proceed with that. So let us go back to these two slides here. Have a look at this, the OLTP and OLAP. So the diagram tells you that OLTP basically tells you what's happening. But the OLAP, since we're talking about analysis is a simple thing wherein maybe you can try to predict the trends, which product would be sold more, which product will not sell more, which by selling which particular product you will gain profits to the organization. So that analysis can be done. So that's why the question that OLAP systems can ask is, what will happen? So that is trying to predict the future year. Have a look at this. So when we talk about the OLTP versus the OLAP, the OLTP we can say has large volumes of transactions that are happening because we are trying to run the queries there. And the data that is there in OLAP is also huge when it is compared to OLTP. But here queries are not performed. We are trying to analyze. We are trying to take that data and we are trying to analyze it. So you also know what is normalization. You have studied the in DBMS, the normalization forms. Observe the last point here. In OLTP systems, it tells you who brought a particular product. But in OLAP, it will tell you how many people have bought the product. So again, that is helping you to analyze. You will be able to understand how a particular product has been sold out. So if more number of people are purchasing, it means that the product is definitely hitting the market and is going to shoot up. And if very few people have taken it, so it means the product is not doing well in the market. So with this, let us move ahead to understand more about this OLAP and the data, how it works in OLAP. So now, what queries could this OLAP system handle? So queries are again based or are again helpful here for analyzing. So you can read these 3 points that are given. If you have a look at these three things, you will be able to understand that the queries that these OLAP systems can handle or process are again in the analytical form. They are able to tell us, they are able to make decisions for us. So, what will be the future sales trend for accessories in the kids section? So, based on the data, the analysis is going to be done, or analysis is going to be predicted here. So which will help us in taking the decisions. If you have launched a particular gadget, or you say you have launched a particular accessory which is more familiar in the kids section, and if the sales is good, so with this data you will be able to predict the future sales. What is accessories here? Accessories is again the category, the product category for the section kids here. So if you can answer such questions, it means that your database or your data is capable for the OLAP systems is more capable for analytical type of a data or analytical type of a processing, which means again your data is capable of making decisions. The OLAP system is capable of making decisions here. So with this, what could be the advantages of OLAP systems? One thing is we are able to view data in different perspectives, that is multidimensional data representation. Then what if analysis, that is basically we are trying to make decisions by asking questions like what if. We are trying to predict the future trends. So OLAP systems are helping us to make decisions here. So these OLAP systems can also be used in various fields or in various diverse organizations wherein you have planning, budgeting, forecasting could be done. So all such various different departments, the OLAP system will work. Then the OLAP system is fast and interactive. Interactive, why? We will see it. How can we say the data is interactive? We will have a look at the next architectures and you will be able to tell why we say that the OLAP system is interactive. So you have three different architectures in the OLAP. The first one is called as MOLAP, which stands for multidimensional online analytical processing. Then you have ROLAP, R stands for relational here. Then the last one, HOLAP, H stands for hybrid. Hybrid is which is a combination of multidimensional and relational. So multidimensional and relational together make it hybrid. So have a look at this particular multidimensional OLAP. So here what they tell us is data can be viewed in terms of a cube. Why cube? If you observe the shape of a cube, you are able to use the data, that is each side of that cube will represent a data there that can be used to represent a data each side. So here the data is not stored in relational databases, but it is stored in a multi-dimensional array. So you are very well aware of what is a multi-dimensional array. Now have a look at the cube that is shown to you there. You can see that without, if you just observe these lines, the edges of this cube, that is like a graph. It is a three-dimensional graph. You have there three axes. You have the horizontal axis, you can say this is a vertical axis, and here you have a third axis. So you could say that this is looking like a graph with three axes. You usually draw a graph with x and y axis. So when we talk about MOLAP, we can say that data can be viewed in data can be viewed in multidimensional in the form of a 3D cube. Now, if you have a look here, if you look at this particular cube, can you just look at this cube and can you come to like what is your understanding by looking at this cube? What is your analysis by looking at this pictorial representation? A cube is shown to you. You say the horizontal axis is showing the year here, from 2014 to 2017. Then you have the vertical axis here, which is showing you the diseases for particular year. And the third axis, which is on top here, this is trying to show you the regions, four regions for 4 years, and these are the four diseases for these 4 years. So what can you look, what can you predict, or say what can you understand and analyze from this? Can anyone tell me? Rishikesh,
Yes, ma'am.
can you analyze anything from this cube by looking at the cube here? It could be
Hmm.
wrong also. I am not saying let it be accurate, but without any knowledge, we do not know how much of the data is there. We just have these column headings. But what is visible from this particular cube? Anybody
Ma'am, it
else?
represents uh, a kind of a. It gives us data about certain disease like cancer in the year
Hmm.
2016. Like,
Hmm.
if we look at it
Correct.
from a
Hmm.
graph point of view, then
So we have one answer here from Rutik. He says in the year 2016. Okay, have a look here. We are in this particular where this circle is marked. We are in the year 2016, and they have shown here 25%. 25% of the people, or you say 25% of people in the year 2016 from the region east were detected with cancer. So if you look at this, no, this cube or the in the way, the view, the perspective in which the data is viewed here is self-explanatory. So if you look at the database, you will get to see lot many tables, lot many columns, and if you have to get this particular run such type of a query to get such an output there, you will have to write the query and just look at the result there. But here, when you try to view it in multiple dimensions, it becomes more easy to view the data, or rather, I would say more easy to analyze the data. This becomes more easy in the pictorial form with, and also we are not restricted to the dimensions. We know that if the technology goes ahead and we develop such softwares, you can also go beyond the third dimension and you can go up to as many dimensions as you want to view the data. So now, what are the advantages of trying to view it in this MOLAP type of a model? The data retrieval is fast here. Okay, have a look at this. Then you have optimal for slicing and dicing. So what is slicing and dicing? Basically, slicing and dicing means extracting the data, breaking the data that is present. You will try to break it in the smallest possible form, in its smallest atomic form, and then you will try to extract it. You will try to view it. Slicing and dicing together mean that we are trying to extract the data from the database, take the data that we require and try to break it in the most smallest form. Why would you break it in the smallest form? Because in the OLAP systems, whenever we say data, it is going to help us for analyzing. So that is why this kind of databases, the traditional databases, when applied with this OLAP or when converted to OLAP, are optimal for slicing and dicing. Very easy to extract and break it. So such kind of OLAP systems help for performing complex calculations, just like you saw in the cube now. We had three different things there, but it was easy to understand from the pictorial representation. So all the calculations are pre-generated when the cube is created. That is, when you try to have the data and when you try to look at it in terms of a query, when rather than writing an SQL query, you write a query where the cube is generated, or when the cube is already there, with the help of the query, the data is fed into the cube and it is presented. Then some of the disadvantages also we have, because we are still we can't say that we are 100% accurate with these OLAP systems. As and how the technology is progressing, the software and the applications or the implementations of these systems are getting better with time. So it is, since the data is again huge in size, the possibility that it is going to handle a huge amount of data is very less. It can work very good with limited amount of data. Then you need additional investment in terms of human and capital resources, because all people are not aware of this cube technology. It is not, you have to train the human people, I mean the human resources that are available there. The proper training to understand this cube technology is needed. And also capital is in terms of again the technology, since these are all property or technology, and the all the institutions or all the organizations will not have it, you'll have to purchase it. So for that you require money, that is the capital. Again you'll require investment or money in terms of training the humans for this, on based on this software or based on this technology. Then we have the second type here, which is about ROLAP, which stands for Relational Online Analytical Processing. So basically here we are talking about the database. So you know that whenever in database, I ask you to fetch a result or search for a particular name or search for a particular entry from a table, you're going to make use of queries, SQL queries or any other kind of an SQL query there. So you usually make use of the where clause there. So this where clause is equivalent to the slicing and dicing here. So if you know, you have worked on these SQL queries, what this where clause is doing, it is trying to extract the data, trying to extract only that data that you require and present to you the data in the smallest possible form. The queries will not see, when I say select star, no, all of the entries will come. But when I make use of a where clause with proper conditions, so it means that only few results are displayed. The filtration is happening there. So this is equivalent to the slicing and dicing. So again here, this is simple database. Okay, relational OLAP talks about a database with different multiple tables, and where you're trying to maybe the possibility here is, one possibility is having multiple databases and trying to combine different databases and work together. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages here? So here, since we talk about databases, it is very easy to handle large amount of data, and all those qualities that a database has, or all those features, all those capabilities that a database has, those capabilities can be used, those functionalities can be used up to its maximum on your data when you're working on it. Then disadvantages: to perform complex calculations using SQL, because you're going to write the queries, so you have to form or think in terms how a query could be written to get or to extract a particular data. What different combinations can you use, whether you can use the join operation, the union. So these things have to be taught, and these things have to be understood properly if you want to extract or filter out a particular data and you want to work on that data. So writing SQL queries is a bit tedious when it comes to accurate filtration of the data here. So the performance can be slow again if at all the data is large. That is when, if data is, because these databases are capable of storing large data. So if it is having a large data, performance is a bit slowed down when we write queries. Then we have the last one, very easy, the combination of these two, which is a combination of MOLAP and ROLAP. So all the qualities that, the advantages rather, I would say, all the advantages that MOLAP and ROLAP had, those advantages will be a part of the hybrid OLAP. So this, uh, along with the advantages, you can see that two diagrams are shown here. This is representing the 3D cube and this is representing our traditional database. So we can combine these both and we will form the HOLAP. So if you are saying that both the advantages are going to be here, it also means that even the disadvantages will come into picture. So we will have to think now, how can these disadvantages be overcome? So definitely with, again, as and how the technology processes, we will be in a better position to handle these kind of analytical processing systems. The third one especially, that is hybrid OL